on Daytime Buffalo, we've got an inside look at the Jewish Repertory Theater's newest play, Sisters-in-Law. And it's spooky season, so if you've got it, you need to flaunt it. I break down a vendor and a small business showcase that is anything but ordinary. It's all coming up right here on Daytime Buffalo. Good afternoon, hello, and welcome to Daytime Buffalo. I'm your host, Chelsea Lavelle. Joining me now in the Daytime Buffalo studio is Josie, Tina, and Priscilla of the Jewish Repertory Theater in Western New York. Hi, ladies. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Hello.
Okay, so why don't you start off by telling us about the show Sisters-in-Law and what it's about?
Director?
Okay. Sisters-in-Law. I love that title because it's about the complicated, sometimes contentious, but extremely respectful and loving relationship between Sandra Day O'Connor and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, our two first female justices of the U.S. Supreme Court.
Why don't you tell me about the characters you play?
Well, I play Sandra Day O'Connor. Sandra was nominated to the court by Ronald Reagan. She was a Republican. She had never served on the federal bench. She only was in the state of Arizona as a state judge. And she was kind of a surprise nomination. Reagan had promised to nominate a woman, and he followed through with it. And she was an interesting woman. She was conservative on a lot of issues, but also very progressive with regards to women's rights. So she was a complicated woman.
And what about you?
I'm playing Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the notorious RBG. And I think what the play is a lesson in history. And I think what the play shows, Ruth is very progressive, all about gender equality. Do it now. It's getting late. And I think the play points out how much Sandra Day O'Connor was able to teach her about how you can get things done in the Supreme Court. So, you know, she was progressive, she was stuck to her guns, but I think Sandra Day O'Connor moderated her a tiny bit.
Tiny bit.
They were definitely two forces to be reckoned with.
Absolutely.
And what did it mean for both of you to step into two iconic roles of such pivotal women in history?
It's a little daunting, but it's been fascinating because it led all three of us to do a deep dive into who these women are, and into the Supreme Court itself, how it functions, how it works. It's really, you know, it's kind of an honor to embody Sandra. I was alive when she was nominated, but I've learned a lot about her and come to really respect how she viewed the law and how she conducted her life.
In learning about these women, what stands out to you the most about the dynamics of their relationship?
Well, I'm surprised by it because we didn't know that history. Ruth is dynamic today. I mean, she's, iconic today. And to learn how Sandra Day O'Connor was. And I, too, remember when she was appointed to the court. I was very excited. I was very young, but I was very excited. We all were. And it was a time when people could talk and they could discuss, find the middle, learn things, which we all know is something we're striving for today. So I think that's what I have really learned, that it's possible.
What's been the most rewarding part for you as the director, seeing these stories unfold and being able to put it on a stage?
Incredibly rewarding to have two very talented and extremely intelligent, excuse me, and activist women in their own right, with such responsibility to tell a story that really needs to get out there in terms of how with one, the other couldn't, or without one, the other couldn't be who they were. And because of that, it moved history forward. So it's so rewarding to see moments of what is sort of the behind the scenes experience of these two women. Now remember, this is a story that, sure, it's fictitious because no one really knows exactly what they said to each other in their chambers. However, Jonathan Shapiro, the writer, who was also a very prolific television writer as well, and a lawyer himself, got into the history of the two of them, and really, we can imagine that these are the sort of things that they talked about with each other. So it's remarkable as a director to watch it unfold. I get very excited. Wait till you see them in their wigs and robes.
We saw some pictures.
Yeah, I mean, at a glance, you're like, oh my gosh, you just interviewed, you know.
Yeah.
They came back. So it really is, and it's very, very important to me, you know, to
Look,
make
there they
it.
are.
Oh yeah, at the 20th Century Club, they were just fantastic, allowing us to do these amazing photos. Yeah, you just glance and you got to do a double take.
Yeah,
so it's been, you know, something that you feel is your responsibility to tell the story right, but it's also entertainment. It is theater. So believe me, there's a lot of dynamic, you know, discussion going on and a lot of instruction. I mean, people are going to learn a lot or not realize what they didn't pay attention to. You know, if they didn't necessarily grow up in a political family or a family that understands governance. So it's going to be a very, very interesting evening of theater combined with history, combined with lots of humor too. These two were known for the quips and their fearlessness, and both actresses are also fearless. We're having a great time.
All righty. Well, we can't wait to see it. Thank you, ladies, so much for coming in. And viewers, again, Sisters-in-Law is playing at the Jewish Repertory Theater in Gettsville from October 26th to November 19th. For tickets and more information, just head over to their website at jewishrepertorytheater.org. Thanks again for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.